Alrighty, so today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be going over 10 things that Dokkan players hate the most. There's a lot of frustrating things about Dokkan Battle. There's also a lot of great things about Dokkan Battle. So in today's video, I want to focus on the frustrating things that we do not like. And if you want to see other lists like this, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below, and I can sort of take a look at them and expand and see if they are, good for a video or something like that. So like I said, in today's video, we are going to be going over 10 things that we hate the most while playing Dokkan. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into number one. Okay, so first and foremost, we have to hop over here to the good old-fashioned Dokkan info, and that is legendary summons. Now, nobody is a fan of a bad value banner in Dokkan, and more specifically, a legendary summon that has bad value, but has a crazy good character on it. I think that this Cell Max is a perfect example of a banner that a Dokkan player would hate. Now, why do I say this, right? This used to be even worse. It used to not have pity, but why are these so bad, right? Well, it's pretty simple to look at if you just take a look at this image that I'm here showing you on the screen. Now, what I want you to do is think about it for a second and tell me how many of these characters are like actually really good. Pause, think about it for a second, right? The answer is 2, potentially 3. Now, who are the characters that are good on this, right? Cell Max in a league of his own. This Golden Frieza, pretty good, and you could argue that these sub EZAs right here are pretty good. Otherwise, you just have a bunch of filler. He sucks, he sucks, he sucks, he sucks. He's okay next to a Path to Power Kid Goku. He sucks. This banner is really bad value. Now, why do we hate this the most? It's because a character that's in high demand, like Cell Max, is on a terrible banner. And this is coming before a celebration like the Worldwide Download Celebration, so it's purely just an attempt to drain you of stones, and most of the time it works, and you find yourself with not many stones left. So this is the first thing that Dokkan players hate, bad value banners with good characters on them. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, so for number 2, we need to look at something in-game, and we have to run back over here. And the second thing is going to be the friend system. Now, the friend system has seen a bit of an evolution over the last few years in terms of its purpose. Since about 2020, the main purpose of having people on your friends list, aside from having like custom supports and people that you could ask for to set their supports, it was the usage of chain battle. But for some of you who have just started playing this year or towards the latter end of this year, that mode no longer exists. Basically, what made it so important was if you had friends who specifically were like whales or something like that, they would usually have like the TUR of an LR that was really good, or a lot of rainbow characters to help make your score better in chain battle. But now, with the removal of chain battle, the friend system has seen a massive reduction in quality, and they've also changed the way it works. So if I want to go and let's just say, like for an example on the screen right here, this isn't like a superhero slash miraculous awakening slash whatever team, right? Let's just say we wanted to run like a very specific category lead, right? Like Peppy Gals. So if we did Super STR Peppy Gals, let's see. We have no Videls available, right? Like none. There's none here. So we already can't do that, and there's literally nothing we can do. We can go in and refresh, but more than likely we are not going to be able to have a friend Videl. I didn't mean to click on this. Yeah, you get to show off a power. Damn, that's a high power level. But you guys kind of get the idea, right? You're not allowed to see or you're not allowed to have another friend support or the one that you would need. So you're automatically running into an issue, and where this would be super easy to fix would literally just be, this has been the, you're probably going to leave this in the, like, what is the fix? Like, leave it in the comment section below. You guys probably know exactly what it is, but that fix is literally just let me duplicate my friend lead, right? If I want to run a Videl-led team, if I want to run like an Android 13-led team, just let me copy and paste my Android 13 for friend points. If you guys played on JP Dokkan back, like, even still, JP does not get the premium friend summon. So like during the anniversary and stuff like that. So literally like a lot of JP players who main that version just have an infinite amount of friend points that they just cannot use anything for within like reason, right? So let us use our friend points to duplicate our friend lead, and that would help solve a lot of problems. Let's go ahead and move on to number 3. Okay, so the third thing on the list, I'm sure you guys saw that Trunks boss up there in the top left, so you know where I'm going to be going with this. Is he going to do it here in this version? Yes, he is. And this is bosses who lock your characters. Now, bosses that lock, this is one of the most frustrating mechanics in the game. If you guys do not know, essentially what we mean by locking is putting them in a spot where they cannot switch from the slot that they are in. So you can see on the icon here with the left and right arrow, just explaining in case anybody doesn't get it, you can't move, right? So getting them stuck in slot 2. In this case, we lucked out because the slot 1 unit can go into slot 1, but this oftentimes can be frustrating as a boss can literally just end a run by locking the wrong character in slot 1 who needs the super to get their defense and stuff like that. Very frustrating mechanic, and I know all of us have lost countless runs to locking. So one of the most frustrating things in the game for sure. Let's go ahead and move on. The fourth thing that all Dokkan players for sure hate is the fact that we have no ability to skip our summons that is not just quitting out of the application. Obviously, that is counterproductive because usually you would just be able to go through quicker if you just went through the multi. But a lot of times there are going to be cases where you get like Yamcha flying in by himself and you just want to hit double skip on the button, and unfortunately you can't. Now in this video, I'm not going to be doing a summon, but I'm sure all of you who have played Dokkan are familiar with summon animations and you know the bad ones from the good ones. So if there's not like a Hercule flying on Boo, if there's not like a Beerus and Whis, it's not a Zeno, it's not a Goku Black Rift, we're not fusing, right? More often than not, I'm going to want to skip that animation so I can move on and get through my summons quicker, because a lot of times Dokkan summoning can be a bit of a drag if you are not having like a lot of stones and collecting a lot of fun characters. So let me get past my dead multis quicker and it would just make life a lot easier in terms of summoning for characters. So for sure, not being able to skip is the fourth thing. Let's move on. The fifth thing I want to talk about in today's video is EZAs that are disappointing. Now, when we have EZAs that come out, usually a lot of the time players have to wait a very long time in order to get to these EZAs, right? Aside from getting to like end game accounts in order to beat the EZAs, it also sucks when you wait for a long time for a character you really like to have a lot of relevance and stuff like that, and their EZA comes out and they are just not that great. I think this is the case for a character like Int Rose Goku Black. This is a prime example of a character who has the hype. This is one of the most hyped characters in Dragon Ball. You put Rose up there, I'd say he's probably top 10. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch, I don't know. But you guys get the point, right? There's a lot of people who are fans of Goku Black, and specifically Rose Goku Black. So when his EZA came out and he wasn't like the best in the game for sure, it's very disappointing because a lot of the times players have to wait years, right? This guy came out in 2020 and didn't EZA until the end of 2023. And then when he got his second version with his EZA, he was not very good. So very disappointing. Let's go ahead and move on. The sixth thing all Dokkan players hate is a bad transformation condition. I'm sure some of you guys saw this coming on this list. Characters who you want to be using, i.e. Blue Vegito, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, etc., etc. A lot of them in the game, but a bad active skill condition is definitely up there with one of the most frustrating things you can do, especially when it is a character like Vegito Blue. You guys know what this character is lacking in terms of the limits department, but you know, we kind of get the idea, right? A bad transformation condition always makes players mad, and it always sucks when you can't use the character you want to use, because newsflash, Dokkan players, if I can hit the button, we don't want to use this. We don't want to use this cursed character. We want to use AGL Vegito Blue. So bad transformation conditions at number 6. Let's move on to number 7. At number 7, I have 30 stage EZAs. I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to agree with this one. They have a working formula with the LR EZA format. Just make us go 10 stages, 3 stones a pop, and we're good to go, right? There's no reason I should have to sit here, even with auto mode, for 55 to 60 minutes just waiting for this character to be done. Like, I already waited 4 years for this character to EZA. Go ahead and let me use them. Don't make me play the game for an hour in order to get them. Just going through this nonsense. I promise you, 10 more difficult stages would be a whole lot better than 30 stages that just feel mindless, right? So 30 stage EZAs at number 7, definitely got to go. Let's get all of these up to the EZA status where we just go with 10 and then we get 3 per stage and we are good to go. So we still get our 30 stones and we save some time. Everybody wins. At number 8, I have those pesky attempt limits. Now, these can be very frustrating, and Dokkan has kind of taken a step in the right direction with attempt limits being removed from a lot of events that used to have them, but as you guys can see here, still, this Blue Zone or Supreme Magnificent Battle against the movie characters still has these attempt limits. So let's just say you get bad opening rotations, bad RNG, a character just doesn't dodge a super, you lose an attempt limit, and you have to wait another, X amount of time. So if you play right at reset, you lose 6 times right away, you're basically gonna have to wait another 23, 22 hours in order to play it again, and that can always be very frustrating. Dokkan, we like to play the game, please let us play more. That's what I have at number 8. I'm kind of exposing myself here at number 9 for not finishing a Dokkan event on the global, but what do we hate at number 9? We hate Dokkan events that take 77 medals in order to obtain the Dokkan Awakening for the brand new character that we pulled. Now, Has Dokkan made steps in the right direction to improve this? Yes, but still, I don't think it should take, 5 runs in order to just Dokkan Awaken a character. I think it should just be like a 1-run thing. You get it done. Even if it's like a little bit tricky, right? I still think that would be a bit of a time save because, again, playing a Dokkan event, like, let's just pretend the missions don't exist and like power level bonuses don't exist. Playing a Dokkan event 11 times seems a bit redundant, and it can just be very frustrating, right? So definitely want this to kind of be reduced and downsized just so we don't have to do as many runs, but this one definitely is not as bad. It is still very annoying though. Last but not least, at number 10. Now, before you think he's going to talk about Raditz, this is just an example of what I cannot stand, is when a character that players have been waiting for a long time comes out, and it's like their first release and they just suck. A dead on arrival unit is always the worst feeling, especially when you're somebody who has waited for the character. I just think Raditz is sort of the face of that, right? Being probably the worst Dokkan Fest ever released. So there you guys go. Number 10, dead on arrival releases. Let me know down below what you guys think of this type of video. Just something I figured I'd do that's a little bit different here during this little pre-anniversary span that we are in right now. So like I said, let me know what you think down below. Do you agree with these things? Do you hate them? Do you not hate them? All of that fun stuff. And also leave some other list suggestions that you guys want to see down below. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you all in the next one.